I wish we could call this news. It's not really news. And don't worry, I know. This is another case. Remember a while ago we talked about stupid girl does something stupid in college and somehow this makes the news. Well, there's a different spin on this one. From The Independent, which is over in the UK, which really isn't a reputable source, but I don't doubt this person exists. University of Liverpool student Amory Toon reveals challenges of being non-binary and pansexual. Despite receiving some negative reactions online and at university, student insists, at the end of the day, this is who I really am. And it's got a whopping 804 shares and 4 comments. Now remember, this is a large international newspaper that couldn't get jack shit number of people to read it. However, this was sent to me by a follower on Facebook, and there's a reason I'm delving into it. A student has spoken out about the challenges of identifying as neither male nor female and also being attracted to both genders. So fucking stop the presses. I mean, the first thing you guys can see right off the bat, well, I got Yahoo Mail, so when I check out of Yahoo Mail, it immediately takes me to their Yahoo News, which is all bullshit. It's not news. And there's like this guy, what was it? Basketball referee comes out as gay. And it's like, no one gives a shit. We don't give a shit. Nobody does. But, you know, they got to keep pushing the thing. And now this is how we move the ball forward. This is the cutting edge. Ooh, it's pansexual. Oh, fucking gay. That's like so 1990s. Now we need like, oh, here's a girl. Oh, hey, the whole world, stop rotating right now. Everybody stop breathing. A white girl in London thinks she might be pansexual. All right? Speaking with the Liverpool Echo, never heard of it, Amy Toon, who studies history and politics at the University of Liverpool, described a feeling of relief at being able to self-identify as being non-binary and pansexual after years of being in the unknown. How the fuck? Seriously, how come I didn't get a news press release when my balls dropped? What is this? Why is this news? It isn't news. And of course, could there ever be a STEM major that's like pansexual? No. Why is it always you liberal arts? I know why. But we'll continue on. However, despite being generally treated with respect, Amy told the site being referred to as a girl is upsetting and that many people think gay marriage is enough but insisted the opposite. Amy also added to how the operation of hormone replacement would mean having to wait up to 5 years and said, you have to live for quite a while being very unhappy with who you are. According to NoBullying.com, a movement against bullying, pansexual derives from Greek referring to the word pan, which equates to all or every. The site adds, it is thought this form of sexuality has been noted for decades, some even reporting signs of it surfacing back to the early 1900s. Charity Transmedia Watch also says, being non-binary is different from being intersex. Oh, you gotta love the fucking vocabulary words you guys come up with to somehow validate the worthlessness of your profession and your study. Most non-binary people are born with bodies that look conventionally male or female, but grow up feeling different. One of the key battles for non-binary people is being able to get different pronouns and options when it comes to legal documentation, reported the Echo. No, you don't have problems. You never had problems. All you have to do is basically say, my gender for the sake of legal purposes is male or female. Okay, that's it. You're making up problems. Oh, which I know. This is the whole game. It's the reg. I know, guys. I know. I just like to throw it back in their face that no one believes it. It's you guys making up problems to make it seem like you're a victim class when you're not. Amy, originally from Leeds, described as having to sign on as being female. However, services like the NIHS provide the option of MX instead of the usual Mrs., Mr., etc., and also told the news they, them is a preferable way of being addressed, whereas others may opt for Z, here, hers, and Z, them, or zer. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oh, I know you might get government to bend over backwards, but the rest of society is going to tolerate this bullshit. I don't care what you call you. Nobody does. But we have to bring it out like there's this, that these poor people are in crisis and oppressed because of form. You know what it tells me? That there's no Irish Jew checkbox when I got to fill out the affirmative action form. There's no Irish Jew thing. They're oppressing us native Irish Jewish American guys. Transnormative people who are cis. Where's that box checked? Ah. Even though Amy has received supports in self-identifying with both groups, the undergraduate highlights feelings of anxiety and depression when being called a girl and added how the students at university can really be transphobic. Dude, if you look at a picture of this girl, she's a girl. She dresses up very pretty. She puts on very pretty bit. She's hot. That's the reason I looked. I'm like, dang, look at that. I'd make a deposit at her bank. So here she is. She's portraying herself as a woman, and then gets all upset when people start saying, hey, you're a woman. If you really want to be Z, then why don't you dress like Pat from Saturday Night Live? The arrogance and hubris of this millennial generation and this particular group of professional victims to think the whole world has better bend to their will as they purposely search out more and more pathetic, petty, innocent, you can't call them transgressions. They're nothings. They're just normal behavior with absolutely not an ounce of malice or ill will behind them. Just a pure innocent, hey, some are even friendly. And to purposely go and find insult. This is why no one wants to hire a millennial. This is why fucking education has become a joke. I know the media and government is bending over backwards, but what you guys got to realize is you got to stop acting like a bunch of wild, snivelly little cunts. Because the real world ain't going to tolerate it. It isn't. Despite receiving negative reception, and online abuse. Yeah, I really love to see this abuse. For those who do not want to accept it overall, Amy cited the internet for raising moral awareness for being non-binary, even though it has a history predating modern times. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And told the Echo, as if this is like a legitimate source, it has become more acknowledged through communities joining together on the internet. On the whole, Amy parted with some strong words of wisdom and said, at the end of the day, this is who I am. Well, good for you. Stop shoving in our face. Would you like it if I shoved it in your face that I'm a guy, huh? And then I would take offense if you called me he instead of Supreme Master Awesome Guy Clary. Yeah. All right. So, nothing new. Stupid girl says something stupid and stupid newspaper picks it up and broadcasts her stupidity. But something kind of caught my eye too, and this is why I looked into it. The girl is hot. The girl's a babe. And I'm thinking like, I remember falling for girls like this back in the 90s. Like this is the girl for me. Like this is the one that I didn't get to know her, obviously. But this would be the physical type of girl where I'd be like, wow, I have to ask her out. Now, I don't see the maelstrom. I didn't see the storm underneath the looks of all these women. And on top of it, it was back in the 90s. So they were just plain psycho cunts, okay? And soon enough, old Cappy Clary, well, young Cappy Clary, young, he wasn't even an officer. He was maybe a corporal at that time. Young Corporal Clary figured things out, put two and two together, got promoted to sergeant, made lieutenant, and then finally became the captain we all know and love today by learning from his mistakes. And I distinctly remember the night. I don't even think I was 30. I think maybe I was 20. I was 27, 28, I think, by this time. And I remember seeing a girl that was just like this one where I'm like, wow, I have to ask her out. And then I think I've told this story before where I controlled myself. I was very cool, had my shit together, knew enough not to go in there. But then I started noticing her interacting and played my cards a little bit cool. And I looked, and more I took in, I realized she's just another cute set of tits. And there's going to be no correlation between what my chemistry and physiology is screaming at me right now, like this is the one for you, because I had chased after enough girls like that. Unfortunately, I even dated two and realized that they were crazy. Nothing good came from what my body was biologically and physiologically screaming me to do. And it killed it. It just killed it. Where it's like the big brain beat the little one. The upstairs brain killed the little one. Says, look, little brain, you know this ain't going to go anywhere. You know this is going to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, we'd like to have some, but when does it ever work? And then the little brain says, yeah, I remember all this pain and agony and not getting any from going down these routes. And sure enough, found out she was an artist, and she was dating this fucking loser who didn't have a car, but it was so cool that he biked everywhere, and he wasn't part of the system, man, because he didn't have a job. All this fucking claptrap 90s fucking Gen X bullshit. So then the second thing I noticed was, one, okay, here's the cute gal, and this would be the type, but then it dawned on me, this pansexual fad. So I looked up Google Trends, and this thing has been going exponential. It's the newest. It's not a thing. It didn't predate modern times. There's no evidence of it going back to the 1900s. There isn't. This is just a thing, spoiled little bored, intellectually absent millennial people, particularly girls, claim to have. So, like, once again, they can avoid genuine accomplishment and then can point to a trait. They're substituting accomplishments with traits because accomplishments take work. And being special and getting rewarded and getting articles written about you when you've done nothing is the new way for leftists to get it. And since gay is now universally accepted, it's now become an arms race where we have to worry about transphobic. It's an arms race where now we have to worry about whatever the latest diversity. Oh, you can't just be black. Now you have to be black female. Now you have to be a Muslim who's oppressed because we just don't like plain getting killed in this country. Now you have 38 different forms of genders. And this pansexual thing has been skyrocketing. And the second thing that maybe kind of delve into this, take a little bit look behind it, was all the two notable people. Laci Green claimed to be pansexual, and some other idiot leftist worthless child, some girl who's on this online internet thing, who is unfortunately misleading millions of young women and men down a road that's just going to ruin the number one thing, is that is the opposite sex for one another. So they're completely undermining each other's relationships to pursue this replace accomplishments, achievements with traits and characteristics. So it's fashionable, it's in. There's no such thing as pansexuality. And if there is, damn well less than 1% of the people who claim to have it actually have it, just like mental disorders. Okay? You're doing it because it's fashionable and because you don't want to go and hit the gym and become a really good sports athlete. You don't want to become captain of the football team. You don't want to go on the debate team. You don't want to do something that's really hard and worthwhile. So you're just going to claim to be part of a fucking group and get some kind of fucking crusade. So it's pansexual now. And it's so predictable because you children, you're not 30-year-old adults. You're not even acting like adults. You are little psychotic children whose parents haven't spanked enough. That now you're allowed to go and run and claim that you're pansexual. So, sorry, two things. The fact that I was really attracted to this girl, like, wow, hey, that's what, hubba, that's what Clary would like when he was younger. And that there's this trend, this fad going now where it's popular to claim some kind of eccentric sexuality, especially amongst the college kids. I want to find out what percentage of college kids are now claiming to be not straight. Gay, bi, transgender, and in this case pansexual, and all the other colors of the rainbow bullshit made up sexual orientations they claim to have. All the, non-binary, whatever words you fancy little precious children over at the Women's Studies and Gender Studies Department want to come up with. Whatever you need to do to validate your worthless existence and keep that government money out, whatever you want to say, all right? I want to find out what percentage of the population today in colleges claim to be straight. So it was hard to come by. I found this one study. I don't know, find it, and basically it said 85% of the college population claims to be straight. And then they broke down, unknown, didn't know, pan, bi, transgender, whatever. Okay, fine. So there's 15%. I'm like, huh. And I try to find out what percentage of female college students identify as straight. I desperately wanted that data, but I couldn't find it. So I had to deal with this one thing. It was like from the Brown Institute or something like that. I don't know. Then I went online and tried to look up what the average population was that was not straight. And here I found a little bit more successful data. Actually, quite a lot in detailed data. Thank you very much, Wikipedia. And they broke it down by state. And ever so roughly, again, some states attract a larger gay population like California, Minnesota. And some people scare it away like Wyoming and Mississippi. But on average, you can expect 4% of the population to not be straight. I said, okay, that's about right. I guess every 1 in 20 people I know might be gay. Talking to Mr. Lee, who of course is gay, he's made me see many things in the gay. I can go to gay clubs, have had other gay friends. So it's not unheard of. I'm like, yeah, man, that makes sense. I see that kind of in the real world. That's about right. Well, if it's 4% in the real world, but college kids are claiming 15% of them are not straight, that's more than 3 times the rate in the real world. Now, what do you think this means? What's going on here, guys? What do you think? Do you think there's something in the water that is making younger people, college-age kids, 3 times as likely to not be straight? Or, and here's where I'm going to go out on a limb, these are mindless, intellectual weaklings who are so lazy but desperate to belong to something but don't want to work hard for it, that they're all going to sign up for saying they're pansexual, or they're this sexual, or they're non-binary, or any one of the 31 flavors of non-heterosexual type gender that are now being offered to them in increasingly flavors and variants, with sprinkles and a cherry on top. What do you think's really driving? Do you really think we're increasingly becoming less heterosexual and more non-heterosexual? Or is it just a fad for these millennial type kids to drive, especially the women? I know the answer. I know the answer because it makes the most amount of sense. These are intellectual weaklings. These are lazy kids. These are spoiled, rotten kids. They've never been held to any standards. I'm not saying it's wrong to have to not be straight. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. You guys know me. I'm libertarian. You go be what you want to be. What I hate, just as much as I hate the people faking that they have autism or Asperger's, is the fake aspect. It's not saying there doesn't exist a thing like bipolar, although that one I will kind of challenge every once in a while. But the number of fakes and frauds that go running behind claiming they have a fake mental illness, well, I got dyslexia, just so they can get special treatment, sometimes outright government money. This goes back to the 90s. I remember, what was his name? He claimed to have dyslexia, and he got $1,000 a quarter for that. And like, how the fuck do you get $1,000? Because instead of, the interwebs, you put te interwebs. That's just a typo. Dyslexia is one of the things I really don't believe in either. But just like mental illness, you could come up with all these different types of sexual orientation, some of which could be legitimate, not even claiming whether they're legitimate or not. But you're going to have the frauds and charlatans go running for that shit because they don't want to work, they want to feel special, but to actually do something that would make you statistically special in this world, they don't want to do. They don't want to become athletes, they don't want to become true intellectuals, they don't want to become entrepreneurs, they don't want to become innovators, they don't want to become leaders. They don't want to become soldiers. They don't want to become risk takers. They want to sit there and fucking navel gaze and go buy themselves a little badge that they put on a little sash badge that says, I'm transgender, I'm pansexual, I'm non-binary, I'm non-trinary, or whatever the Latin equivalent of tri would be. And then they run around, and then to keep the facade up, they got to make it sound like they're a victim class, because ultimately what they're doing is offering nothing. Like, if you're looking at me, okay, like, let's take my buddy Khan. He's gay. He doesn't run around, oh, I'm gay, I'm oppressed, give me money. You're like, oh, I better go and go become an architect. So he works as an architect. That's what he offers to society. Him being gay or not has nothing to do with it. That's just who he is. Not once have I ever heard Mr. Lee ever say anything about pride and, oh, he's so proud to be gay and that he was oppressed or anything like that. He was proud of his architect. That's what defined him. But that takes work and effort to build something society wants, to offer something society wants. And you people don't want to do that. So like typical leftist, Marxist, fucking parasitic parasites, scum, which is what you fucking are, you go and you claim to be victims and then demand bailouts of money. It's as old as racket as there's ever been. Everyone, well, okay, not everyone. I see through it. Everyone with balls sees through it. Everyone with wool not across their eyes, they see through it. So please don't tell us that you're pansexual. You're just a bored little precious little white girl who's had way too much fucking money and too much of a lack of work ethic instilled in her that you're never going to work and this conveniently suits you. You're not pansexual. Well, you might be confused, I'll grant you that. But I don't believe for a second you are, because statistically speaking, there's no way all of a sudden the non-heterosexual percentage of the population tripled. So at least 2/3 of you got to be faking it. Right? In other words, okay, let me be more literal. There's a 1 in 3 chance that you little precious lady, you little Amy, definitely are pansexual. A 1 in 3 chance. There's a 2 in 3 chance that you're a fucking liar. And if I look at how you're going and being an attention whore, and this doesn't specifically mean this young lady here, it could be any one of them. Right? Laci Green is a perfect example. Look at me! It's bullshit. It's transparent. You want to play the victim and live off of other people. Just admit that. Just admit it, okay? Don't hide behind this made-up sexuality stuff. Don't. And certainly don't insult those who do have it, but then don't go running around with the fucking cup in their hand claiming they're oppressed. Like my buddy Khan, who actually does work towards something greater than himself. So this wasn't the main one that I wanted to get to. This was what I was thinking about. You poor boys. Said it before and I'll say it again. I wonder if we're needed anymore. Like, have things changed since the 20 years I've been in college? And oh my gosh, by golly, look at big-titted Molly. You poor boys. I mean, it was crazy enough trying to figure this shit out on our own back in like 92, 93, 94, 95. Like, there was no fucking internet, and if there was, it was pretty lame. You know, it took 5 hours to download one a nudie pic. You would think you were killing it with a 14.4 baud modem. So there was no wisdom. We had to go out and kind of figure it out analog. Like, we had to figure this thing, reverse engineering, and do true, genuine philosophy and comparing of notes. And to realize, oh, even though I'm like totally attracted to this woman, she's bad news. She's a landmine. And that's a lot of dating. That's a lot of empirical experience for the little one to be overridden by the big one. That's how bad it was. But the excuse we got was they were crazy. They were just nuts. Or they're just impolite, not showing up on time. It's about that time this year. Look up my post Deandra on Captain Capitalism. That's what we had to endure. That's the empirical data we got. And all we chalked it up to was she was a flake. She's a dumb broad. She's unreliable. She's spoiling from the suburbs. Now, oh my gosh, do these girls have bullshit to hide from or hide behind? Oh, you poor boys, when you run into this one, because this is what I pictured. There's going to be my United Kingdom equivalent. There's old British Clary, and he's going to this Liverpool. You know, there's this poor kid who's got a crush on this Amy gal. He's got a huge crush on her. And he's got his little 19-year-old ass has got every genetic thing screaming at him saying, wow, I'm in love. And we can mock and laugh and ridicule that now, but it was the most powerful source, if not the most powerful source today, that drives men, their sexuality. That chemistry where you look at like love at first sight, or at least lust. Now, the definition of a man is one who grows up and doesn't get excited about it anymore. You date enough of those type of gals, you realize, oh, that's like sticking your penis in a tree shredder. But that still doesn't change that there are 2 billion years, however many millions of years of evolution that went into humans that made it that this is the one thing, oh my God, you must go and get her. That's more important than anything else in the world. You go and get that girl. And there's that poor sap of a kid. There he is. You can see him, can't you guys? Strategically trying to sit next to her. Sees her in class. Oh, and he's maybe a little nervous. Maybe he ain't the smoothest guy ever, but by gosh, he's going to do it. And he's trying to chat her up. He's playing really smooth. And he finally gets around to asking the girl out. She says, oh, I'm sorry, I'm pansexual. I don't know. Or even worse, where you get the date, then you get hope. See, that's the problem. You get shot down and you're just crushed. But what really happens when they build you up and lead you on, and then like, oh, she said yes, they get excited. They go on the date. You think everything's going wonderful. If you're particularly stupid and young, you might have bought the girl a flower or something. I don't know. These are the olden days. And this girl could be cool, you know. I'm not saying she's not a bad conversationalist. He could just get enamored, completely taken by this girl. And then maybe he goes in for the kiss, but she's so screwed up she doesn't know what she wants. She's like, yeah, I'll kiss him. And then he's on cloud 9, kid's tripping. You could do a pound of heroin. You still won't be as high as that kid is. He's all happy. The love of his life. This is working. He's going to tell his grandchildren the day he met their grandmother over at the lecture hall and she was there, and he'll know exactly what she was wearing. She had this nice little gray skirt with these leggings on because it's chilly and da-da-da, and he's just beaming and his brain is going into the future. He's happy. You can only be that happy being so ignorant. Ignorance truly is bliss. And then the not callbacks. Then hey, I had a great time. He'll wait the couple of days. He'll call her. And she'll, well, maybe. And then doubt. Did I do something wrong? What did I do? Then he'll hyperanalyze his entire performance that day. Did I get the wrong color flower? Did I open the door enough? Did I get her the wrong type of coffee? All this stupid bullshit, this misdiagnosing bullshit. And only after she strings him along a little bit, maybe goes on another date, and then she delivers, well, I'm pansexual. I'm just not into men. Or whatever it is, who knows? And then that poor kid, this poor sap, who's normal, he's like, huh? So, then he might be. Does that mean we get a threesome with another girl? No. It means I'm non-binary. What does it mean? I don't even know what it means, but I'll tell you this: it means he ain't getting any. And that poor little kid his heart would be crushed. But that heart crushing is one heart crush closer to him getting the wisdom and the epiphany of becoming a man. But I'm just wondering. Well, I know for a fact these poor boys out there. This is a new weapon they get to deal with in this arms race of bullshit. Right? Again, like I said, I always wonder, is the advice we give today still pertinent? It's more pertinent than ever because they've just accelerated the arms race with this new crazy bullshit. But because this girl was so cute and so good looking, I'm thinking like, my God, what a mind fuck is that going to be? It's not going to be like, I'm not that into you. Or they just flake out and never call you like, the chick doesn't like me, she's a coward. Or I'm banging somebody else, I got back together with my ex-boy. All these things at least make sense. This is a new one. I'm pansexual. And that's why I can only string you along. Or like, what was it, Chasing Amy? Oh, that was a horrible one. All the drama that came out of that one. Oh, horrible movie. Don't bother going to see it. But oh my gosh, you poor boys, you get to deal with this. I don't know, maybe you researchers out there, maybe my lieutenants in the field, my agents in the field, you guys know some statistics that I could find. I didn't want to spend too much time looking it up, but I found that it's about a rate of 3 to 1. And if I'm going to believe the legitimate non-heterosexual people out there who actually are not heterosexual, they're some not heterosexual sexual orientation, it's about 4%, then more than 3 times the amount are bullshitting in college. And boys, I don't know, that if you're young and in college, listen to me, boys, just listen to me. If they say, God, I hate to even say bi, because I knew people who were genuinely bi in college. If they're gay, they're gay. That much, I mean, because there's nothing special anymore with that. If you're gay, you're gay. But you got to look out for, I hate to say it, I'm sorry for all of my bisexual friends out there, bisexual fans. You got to look out for the posers. Maybe if you're bi, you could email me and tell me what percentage you think are fakes and posers. Like they claim to be bi, but they're just girls who want to get more attention. Please, I would love to have your insights into this. But for you boys out there who are going to go up against this, it's almost a warning sign. Like it's a red flag if they say they're bi, and certainly a redder flag, a redder warning sign if they're any of this non-binary, polysexual, polyamorous, whatever, any one of those non-traditional, non-heterosexual ones. So there's straight, there's gay, bi. It's not any disrespect to our genuine bi agents in the field out there. But that's when you start getting into the world of bullshit and fakes and posers and frauds. And just look out for them. And this is, I desperately want to know. if this is more of a female thing than male thing. I think guys are just like, yeah, I'm gay, I like dick. That's it. That's pretty. Gays are very happy. I don't know if you've ever gone to a gay party or gone to a gay nightclub. You're never going to see anyone unhappy. No one is unhappy at gay nightclubs. Nobody. I've never been to a gay party and like, wow, those are unhappy people. They're always happy. I think they're straight up honest with each other. Like, yep, we like dick. There you go. So I think the guys I don't think are liars or posers, but I'm wondering how much percentage of the women, that's what I want to find out, the percentage of women that are claiming not to be heterosexual, what percentage of them really are heterosexual and just faking it for whatever social or political gain that may get them. Or psychological gain. Oh, I'm worthless, I do nothing, I'm majoring in history. Well, at least I'm a polymorphous sexual with a trinary sexual polymorphism. Fuck whitey males. Really, because it's going to give you guys a headache, especially when you're in college. Especially a girl like this. Hot little tomato like that running around. Claiming she wants to get, that's the worst right there. Claiming she wants to get hormone treatment. We even had, okay, you know what? We had a client. I did have a client. He was doing the gay, or not the gay. He was doing the transsexual thing. He was getting the hormone treatment. He was, I think, even maybe down the road going into surgery. And I think he was on the up. Boy, I should look. Oh, that's right. We archived all the emails. If you're listening, please email. I would love to have an email exchange or maybe even talk to you on the YouTube. Oh, that's right. You didn't want anyone to know you were still a guy because you present as a woman. But anybody of you out there, I would love your insight. You got to have a term for these people that are faking it. You got to have a term. I would love to have the insight because I'm so sick of this bullshit. It's bullshit. And imagine if you are genuinely straight, or not straight, if you are genuinely bi or gay or transgendered or whatever, this has got to piss you off. These people just kind of joining the Me Tooism and co-opting your identity. Not that you, especially my listeners, especially our readership, you guys probably don't like, well, I'm gay and that's the number one thing about me. I know you guys probably know I'm an engineer, but I also happen to like the cock. You know, I'm sure that's where else. Still, it's your community. It does identify you. I think it's part of your community. I'm wondering what percentage of faux and posers and frauds and fakesters are coming in. Seriously, I do. How many people will listen? I don't know. Actually, I should probably just put this up on YouTube. Then I'd probably get more responses. That'd be interesting. Maybe we'll do a segment like that. All right. Well, listen, that's it for the Clary podcast. If you like the podcast or you just like me, let's say you hate me, but you like the podcast and all that other stuff, tell people, tell friends, tell allies, tell enemies, tell people you're genuinely indifferent about. Go to iTunes, vote it up, make a post on Facebook. We're on SoundCloud. I think we're maybe on Stitcher now. Finally made that transition. So we have that as well. Also, if you'd like to help out the old captain here, I know Christmas is over, but if you'd like to support the show, but there's nothing, the sponsors that you wanted to buy, that's all right. We have an Amazon affiliate program. Just go to captaincapitalism.blogspot.com. Click on the Amazon banner, and then whatever you buy there during that shopping session, I get a 7% cut. Make sure your ad blocker is turned off. And yeah, if you do all your online shopping through there, I make thousands, and then I never have to really ever work in banking again. Check your nuts. Found out someone actually close to me. He got the prostate cancer, and they had to check it, and thank God they checked it because they're going to get rid of it. So that's the second guy in this year I've known that had to lose his prostate. 3 in the past 2. So especially you guys, 40 and over, I got to get the finger shoved up my ass. I got to do that. I know that. So also check your nuts. Testicular cancer is also, that's easily preventable. So fidget with your nuts if your girlfriend won't. But I like to come up with the arrangement. Look, sweetheart, I'll give you a mammogram if you fidget with my nuts. It's wonderful. It's nice. Usually doesn't lead to just a mammogram. We don't need to hear about your sex life. Yes, you do, because all your sex lives suck. If you guys had good sex life, Silver Dollar Bikini would have been selling off the charts. But no. Here I am thinking we got a lot of crazy, sexy, libertarian type people. No, everyone's going to church. Everyone's like very missionary in my readership and listenership, I guess. I'm just a little bit too risque with my Silver Dollar Bikini. Screw you guys. I'm taking my Silver Dollar Bikini and going home. So while she's fidgeting with your nuts and you're playing with each other's boobs, you're doing it to prevent cancer. And heaven forbid that leads to sexual funness. I can't have all these blue blood Republican types like go to the church. That can't be you. Aren't we all libertarians, huh? Please let me know my listeners have like way better sex lives than these fucking frauds posing as hipster douchebag. Please tell me we have better sex lives than hipsters. Please. Fucking Mr. Red Jeans and his Converse shoes with his fucking coif there. Please tell me we're getting more laid than he is. And the girls we're nailing are doing way nastier shit than his fucking armpit-haired feminist. Blah. So where else was we? Oh yeah, so make sure nobody's got cancer. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right, listen, we'll catch you guys later. The rest of you have a good week and have a good